You know that feeling, right? That little knot in your stomach when the weather report starts looking serious. A massive storm is on the horizon, and you can't help but wonder, when push comes to shove, is there actually a plan?
Or is it all just, chaos? People running around, improvising, just hoping for the best. It's a pretty scary thought when you think about it.
Well, the reality is actually pretty reassuring. Yes, there is a plan. A very detailed official government playbook. It's the opposite of chaos. It's a step-by-step procedure for managing a crisis, from the very first warning sign all the way to the recovery. And today, we're going to crack open that playbook and see exactly how it works.
We'll start with the big picture, the playbook itself, and who's in charge. Then, we're going to break it all down into 3 key phases: what happens before the storm, the response during the crisis, and of course, the incredibly important work that happens in the aftermath.
Okay, let's dive right in. The very first thing you need to understand about any large-scale disaster response is the chain of command. In all the noise and confusion, who is actually making the calls?
So here's the core concept. The response is scalable. It's not one size fits all. For a small, level 1 flood, your local district office is in charge. Simple. But as things get worse, the command level goes up. A medium, level 2 crisis that affects a whole province, the provincial governor takes the lead. If it gets even bigger, a level 3 disaster, the national headquarters takes over. And in a truly catastrophic level 4 event, it goes all the way up to the prime minister. This tiered system is absolutely crucial. It makes sure the response matches the size of the threat.
The whole playbook really unfolds in 3 logical acts. First, before anything hits, it's all about prediction and getting ready. Then, during the crisis, the focus snaps to emergency response. And finally, after the storm is passed, that's when the long-term job of recovery and rebuilding kicks in. So, let's start at the beginning with Phase 1.
So, how does the system gear up for a threat that's on its way? Well, this is Phase 1, and it's way more than just checking the weather. It's a very specific, color-coded alert system.
Everything starts at green. This is your baseline. Your everyday, nothing to see here. But don't let the calm fool you. Even now, behind the scenes, agencies are always monitoring weather data, river levels, the whole shebang. It's a state of constant, low-level watchfulness.
Now things tick up a notch when we get to blue. This means a potential threat has been flagged. Maybe there's a storm forming out at sea. The monitoring suddenly gets more frequent. We're talking close tracking, with updates every 24 hours. The system is officially paying attention now.
Yellow is where things get serious. The forecast now suggests a severe impact isn't just a possibility, it's likely. And this is the real turning point, the game changer. The Provincial Command Center is officially activated. We've just shifted from passive monitoring to active, boots-on-the-ground preparation.
And finally, you get orange and red. This is it. The threat is imminent. The danger is high. All those warnings you see on TV now become direct, official orders. An evacuation order is issued, telling people in high-risk zones to get to safety. This is the moment where the plan's success really depends on all of us listening and acting.
So we keep talking about this Provincial Command Center. What is it, really? You can think of it as mission control. It's the nerve center for the entire provincial operation. This is where the governor and the heads of every key agency, health, public works, you name it, all come together in one room to coordinate everything. All information flows in, and all commands flow out from this single point.
Okay, the storm has hit. The preparations are done, and now we are right in the middle of it. This is Phase 2, where the playbook goes from planning to pure action, guiding the response in real time.
The number 1 priority, always, is people. The command center is coordinating things like getting people out of harm's way and setting up temporary shelters. They're also directing all the amazing volunteer groups. At the same time, a joint information center gets set up, and its only job is to push out clear, accurate information to stop rumors and panic. And of course, search and rescue teams are deployed to find anyone who's been trapped.
Now, behind all that frontline work is this massive logistics operation. This is the part of the playbook that's about getting heavy machinery where it needs to go, managing the flood of donations to make sure they're used effectively, and keeping an eye on the emergency budget. It even has protocols for helping foreign nationals caught in the disaster and, crucially, a formal way to ask for help from other agencies if things get too tough.
And that brings up a really important question. I mean, this is a solid plan. But what happens when a flood is just so big, so catastrophic, that it completely overwhelms one single province?
This is where the system shows how flexible it is. When a governor decides the crisis is beyond their control, they can request to escalate it.
At that point, command shifts from the provincial to the national level. Suddenly, the resources available explode to include things like the military and other national agencies. The provincial command center doesn't just shut down, though. It transforms. It becomes a forward command post, basically the on-the-ground eyes and ears for the much larger national response. It's a pretty smart handoff.
So eventually the rains stop. The waters start to go down. And you'd think, okay, the worst is over. But for the people affected, the crisis is far from finished. This brings us to phase 3, the long, hard work of recovery.
A huge part of recovery, obviously, is money. And it's interesting to see where it comes from. It's not just one big government check. While government ministries provide the biggest chunk, a lot of support also comes from royal foundations, the Social Security Fund, and, of course, the generosity of private donations from ordinary people. It's a real team effort.
And this recovery process is just as structured as the response. It starts with an official declaration that the disaster is over. Then, teams go out to survey all the damage. Committees are formed to quickly review aid applications and get money to people who need it. But here's what I think is one of the most important parts. They conduct after-action reviews. This is where they sit down and figure out what worked, what didn't, and how they can make the playbook even better for next time. The system is designed to learn from every single event.
So, next time you see that storm brewing on the horizon, just remember, it's not chaos. From the very first prediction model to the final rebuilding plan, there is a comprehensive playbook at work, a system that's designed to protect lives and help communities get back on their feet.
So this playbook exists. It's real. But just knowing about it is only the first step. And that really leaves us with a final question to think about. What's our role in all this? How can we, as citizens, help make this plan work even better when it truly counts?